All right, Panther Lair, let's talk about Ishmael Leggett's defensive contributions thus far for the Pittsburgh Panthers. Going to focus on a few key areas here. The first one I'm going to talk about is his ability to defend on the perimeter. Now, this first clip, a switch has already occurred here where Leggett is on Blake Hinson's original assignment, and you'll see he tries to back Leggett down a little bit, bang with him, and Leggett really does not concede a lot, and he always gets back into a position to contest a shot. I think that's probably one of his more underrated qualities in terms of defending on the perimeter. But the thing I'm probably most impressed with is his ability to navigate screens off ball. Bub has pretty much been the primary ball handler's defender. He's done a really good job, especially not really conceding a lot of dribble penetration. Of course, that means that the off guard on the opposing team is usually running through a bevy of off-ball screens, and Leggett has done a really good job thus far through 6 games in being able to hang with his man. He seldom gets screens, takes really decisive routes to get back in front of his assignment, and so you'll see an example of that here, this being the first game against NC-A&T. They ran this set a few times here where this kind of like V cut out. Now, Federico does leave a little bit of space here if Leggett wants to take that route. The issue could always be, though, if this player just continues this cut and this player kind of clears this space out, that this is going to be a really easy pass inside. So Leggett tries to take that away in his recovery. So you see he clears out. So if Leggett just kind of tries to go through the space that Federico's leaving, unless that's communicated for Federico to bump back to defend this, which of course could cause a mismatch elsewhere, it's a really good job of him kind of reading how deep the V cut was going to be, getting back out and making a strong contest. Now, of course, on a hard closeout, you're going to concede a little bit of dribble penetration, but Federico eats that up. He's done that pretty much all year, and I really like how Leggett stays with plays. If you just watched the game against Oregon State, he's stayed with the play and ultimately recorded a block at the very end of it. He does a really nice job of kind of finding something to do as opposed to just hanging out. Another underrated quality of his. And here, this was just 2 games later against Florida Gulf Coast. Again, good off-ball screen navigation. I really like here. So, I mean, he could just tail this way. The issue is if this ends up being a curl, right? So this could be a curl. And if this ends up being a curl, that puts a lot of pressure here on Guillermo Diaz-Graham. So instead, he takes this route out to potentially take off the curl, navigates decisively, and still gets up a good contest on a missed shot. So this is ability to kind of read passing lanes. Again, as the off-ball defender, a lot of times you're going to be in a position of help more than you're going to be positioned on the ball. And you'll see Pitt does a really good job, especially against kind of lower level competition where their hedging ball screens and recovery works well. Austin's the low man tagging here. Federico will end up recovering, so nothing really comes out of that ball screen. But as this gets, as this drive happens, Austin kicks over. There's really no option to pass to Austin's man at all. I mean, he's going to have to go through like 2.5 defenders to do this. Leggett is still splitting here, but at this point in the clip, he's kind of reading the eyes of the ball handler, and him sinking in here and splitting means that he could react to either pass and just makes a really nice pick. You might remember in this game, he missed a lot of layups really early in this game. That's one of the things that got him going. So the fact that he can turn defense into offense, a big thing for Pitt. And then this last one, I really like his communication. I highlighted this after the Oregon State game and the likes and dislikes, but his communication on exchanges is really good. And why this is important, again, is because an exchange is used to either create a mismatch or confuse who's going to be the low man for like an oncoming pick and roll situation where someone's rolling and all of a sudden the confusion between who's going to tag this roller happens. But Leggett does a really good job of kind of decisive saying like, hey, I'm going to switch. So his ability to switch, again, we highlighted in the first clip, is very important. But as the low man, Leggett is active and effective. So, I mean, this is going to be, the screen out. This player's cutting out of this ball screen, and Leggett, as the low man, keeps the ball in play. And you'll see Hinson gets fouled here on this drive in like semi-transition. So what could have been a dunk on one end turns up to be a foul, and I think Hinson does make both free throws here. So just the importance of this. I mean, this game for a while was within 10, 12 points. So, early in the second half, I think this game was still within 10 or 12 points. These are the types of plays that helps extend or, keep the lead. Leggett just does a really good job of doing small things defensively that maybe not every player is there yet, especially the younger players, but just really helps elevate the team. Really nice player, very good pickup, and, expect to see this from him all season long.